Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Aloha from CZT Suzanne Fluhr. Alright, now, I'm taking myself way out of my comfort zone because I was just feeling like I wanted to, every once in a while I just go a little bit crazy and say, let's just get out of our comfort zone for a little bit. Okay, sure, let's do that. All right, so this starts off with a squiggly line. And you know what? I'm going to try mine a little bit tighter. Well, I'm going to do it the way it ends up happening coming out of my hand, right? That's all we can work with. And I decided to do mine up. Well, you could do it whichever way and then decide which way you want to be up. All right, then this one where you have these curves coming out. Oh, and actually, it's more at the top of the curve. Okay, that's where I've gone wrong. It's like funny the things that you're like, what? Wait, let me look at that again. Okay, so at the top of the curve, kind of an S shape again. So if you think of this as a big long S shape, coming out is an S shape. I'm kind of drawing them to the side, and so again at the top of the curve, that one went right off the thing. I was doing them kind of like down at the base, but so let's make sure to do these at the top. And then I'm going to flip my tile just because it's a little easier. I'm going to decide if I'm going to do that bottom one. Oh, I guess I can right here. And they seem to work really well if you have them, so looking at it here, if they're kind of pointed upwards a little bit or slanted upwards. Mine are more straight. I was trying to get them to go up, but that's okay. They are the way they are. All right, next step is just to do a big curved line underneath. And, let's see. Actually, maybe if I was this, wait, I was like, okay, this is this one. All right, so let's go from here. And it doesn't really matter where they land. Well, this one went, woo, okay. We'll see what happens. They look a little bit like either flying saucers or stingrays. Okay, and this one is just, well, that one is just off the page. Okay. Oh, look it. I think I was going to decide on that one. Let's see. This one is just going to, well, this will be a baby one. There we go. Okay. Then, next step is to, and again, it is kind of an S shape also, but we're going to come down the middle like this. And I kind of come down the middle and then make an S shape. So kind of going up a little bit, almost aura-ing this. All right, let's do the other side. And then the other side, you just kind of have to think backwards. But if you focus on kind of aura-ing that, it doesn't have to be exact. And what I find is like sometimes if I've gone a little too far, but see, now that I put that middle line in, it doesn't look so too far, really. So sometimes I'll minimize that, not aura-ing it with the exact contour, if you will. Okay, oops, and then the little baby one on top. Okay, then on my step out, I combine these next two steps, and this is where I do believe that having the leaves a little bit closer together helped. So we're aura-ing, from under one leaf, just aura-ing that stem, if you will, to the next leaf. And it seemed like it was causing me problems when I had too much, where it was kind of duplicated. Or doubled up, I should say. That's probably a better way to describe it. Okay, then Okay, and so I have two thoughts. One, so the next step, let me just explain it. And nicely, Suzanne has it listed in her step out. It says, this step is basically thickening the lines and filling in the base of each leaf. And so I did put that on mine as well. And when I'm looking at the thickening, it really looks like, of the base of the leaf anyway, it looks a lot like rounding. So thinking of it in those terms, apparently, hold on. I clicked a piece of my hair in there. And then you wonder, well, how long has that been there? Just like if you get something in your teeth. All right. And this is where you can play around. So you could do this and do some initial filling in. It's still there. Challenge of having long hair. Doing this fill in, or you could also flip to a thicker nibbed pen, which I might do just for tracing over some of those outside lines. But I feel more comfortable. This is just me filling in the base, because this way I can just kind of see. I don't have to, I can always end up going over something, like shooting past it. But yeah, and you could even just start with filling in, depending again on how they're laid out. So I'm just doing this corner, because you can always go up further when we're doing this. Is why I like to call this with the course correcting, because you can always add more and cover up things and change an orientation of something. Maybe it just depends on what you might be needing to make better in your mind, right? Or for your eyes. All right, because when you look at the link to her step out is in the description section, of course, as well as a link to mine. I started doing them this way, and I'm almost feeling like I maybe went too heavy, too quick on some of them. Oh, but that's not looking too bad, because a lot of hers, it does seem like the bottom half has more thickening than the top half. And this is just me being my over analytic self. And see, it's almost too thick for that little one there, but it's okay. I can go back with the 01. And actually, it's not bad to have both things handy, because I did see also a lot of this, where the base of that middle line is filled in. And I wasn't sure what to do with these lines here, but when I'm looking at her finished product as well as step outs, there is like a connection. So like there's a thick line that comes, from this leaf to this leaf, it kind of bounces back and forth. And then also with this, like everything else Zentangle, it is all up to your own interpretation and what you want to do with it. And so that, the part of that's outside of my comfort zone with this is, there's a lot of that kind of stuff, the left up to your imagination. And so a lot of times my brain just like, ugh. Just like I do in music, just give me the notes on the page. You tell me what you want. I'm great at that. And I do like replicating things and not so much, coming up with my own thing. And so that's why I say this is just a little out of my comfort zone. And you know what? If this kind of thing is out of your comfort zone too, I would like to know that. And feel free to put that in the chat. You can, and if it's right up your alley and you enjoyed this, you can put that in the chat also, because I like to know. And so it makes a neat, almost like a highlight. leaving that part of the stem just kind of open. And so I'm just taking this, bit by bit, really, and just making it flow from one to the next, and just on the basis of thickening it, and that's seeming to help. Oh, and I like this better. I'll show you my other try, because, we're all friends here. I'm not afraid. And you know what? And that's the thing about Zentangle. It's all our individual journey. This is not, as my friend Diane says, we're, not taking it to the fair. Or she'll say, well, this isn't one for the fair, but I sure enjoy doing it. And I love that, because it's like, that is what it's about. It's about, well, gosh, did we enjoy doing it? Did you get something out of it? Does it make you smile? Because maybe, like for this, it might not look the best, but if I achieved something that, if I can get out of my comfort zone and make me at least not feel like it was a complete disaster, then that's a good thing. And it's about our individual journey, not about anything else. So, soapbox moment over. Now, so here's some other thoughts. You could go, and I'm going back to the 01 for this because you need to have that fine point. Let's see, this one off the line, so that's that. But you can, extend out that tip a little bit. It cleans it up, makes it, come to a nice fine point. You don't get that if you're just doing it with the 08 or any other of the thicker nibs. So it is important, and that's why I like to do when I'm doing boxes or anything, I will do it with the 01 first, when I certainly could come back or just do it with a thicker pen and leave it at that. But it's like, well, then you don't have those fine points then in the corners and whatnot. So, okay, I'm liking this. It's looking like, it's looking a bit like Suzanne's, but still looking a bit like mine as well. So what I'm doing with the 01 now is just, so the places where there's bumps, I like to have like smooth lines. And if you just trace over a little bit, and I wanted to make this a little bit thicker here too. And you just trace over, because it's hard to trace over exactly. So then what happens is, so like right here, you see this is a little sloppy. So if I just trace over it a little bit, and you see that it's like all of a sudden, there it is. It goes all nice looking. So that's just something that I figured out and is very, very helpful, because there's nothing worse than if you have where there's a lot of those little bumps, and you can't help it if you're going over stuff. Yeah. And even when you're doing it with the pen, so it might be a good idea like this. It's like, oh, let's just continue it all the way to the end. And sometimes the little bumps are character, and that's fun too. It's up to you. And that's the hard part of Zentangle, is because there's a lot that's just up to us and our own taste and our own, what we want to see. And when we see what everybody else does, we me included, think, oh, I should do it. Oh, I should do that. Oh, I should do this. No, it's okay. Just, we each just do us, do ourselves. You do you, that type of thing. All right, this one is, let's see if I can get that a little bit cleaner. And then we'll call it a day. Nice. Okay, I'm happy. I'm happier. Well, now look at it. If I gave it a little bit more time, it's like, but I'll show you anyway. This was playing around, and my my shapes, it's like that was just not even right. But I think with some more playing around with it, and sometimes that's what it is. It's like, well, you know what? Let me see what else I can do, and that is the other part of the challenge. Okay, now in the on Suzanne's step out, she shows how you could, like, this is the basic, but you could also, in her sample, she has doing like print tops inside the leaves, so you could have a lot of fun with that, or you could aura one side or the other. I do like how, I think it's on Linda's, if I can find it. I saw it somewhere. Anyway, even just shading one side. Well, actually, here's a something. So you could do a little like this, and then maybe do a fill-in, just a little bit on one and a fill-in on the other. So I'm doing the bottom one. Then what I do is I just work to be consistent with those. And as you see, I'm not, well, when it gets in these little ones, it's kind of hard. And you see, I'm not really filling in all the way with that, because when I come back, let's do this first. And I was just a little bit away from the sides on this little C shape. I want to do that before I load it up with graphite. Because if you're using the graphite to do a fill-in like this, you don't have to completely fill the section with the graphite. The tortillon will do the work. You would just put down as much as you need to have the shade of gray that you want. And well, here's something else that you could do too, if you decide to do something like this. You could do these little shapes without putting graphite in, and just use what's on your tortillon if you wanted to, because that works as well. Now it's who did that? That's neat. Actually, I'm gonna make these go like a teardrop shape, because that one was almost doing it and it looked really neat. So why not? Oh, okay. I love having a who drew it moment. That is amazing. I'm going to continue to play with the other one and see if I can, in my mind, do a little rescue job. This was a little bit too wide, so I'm just thinning the white part by thickening the other part. All right. Now I'm happy. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, I would love to know in the comments. I am not shy with this, happy to show my own, share my own feelings of inadequacy, and then say, oh, look at how well it turned out. You can do it too. That is my point. And the reason I do it. Because I am continually enamored by this method and all of the brilliant people that create step outs. And I said, and I am one. I do have a step out to my credit. Well, I'm sharing the credit with Mom because it was her idea. I just happened to draw the step out. But the methodology initially of simple elemental strokes that we use to keep it simple, and following instructions, and then adding a little tad of creativity. And if you don't feel like you have any baby steps, it's okay. And again, that's why I like to share something like this, where I take myself out of my comfort zone, and because maybe my thought process helps in some way, shape, or form. So anyway, if it helps, I would love to know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, would love to have a thumbs up. Feel free to share it. And if you like it enough to see more, I would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. And of course, that is free. I also do classes in the description section. I mentioned the step outs. That's where I keep those. Below that, I have ways to connect with me if you wish. My website, as well as our Facebook group. And I think that's it. But if you'd like to come and have fun live, I do classes every week. I do classes every week that are free. Actually, they're really supported by those that support me by taking some of the paid classes, or they're part of I have a membership club. That information is all Tangle Addicts Club is what it's called. It's on my website. You can take a look at that. But through all of that, and actually, and the YouTube channel helps a little bit as well to support my efforts in doing all of this. So if you enjoyed it, again, would love to have you join us online for classes. As well as, doing, enjoying the videos before and after. So anyway, I think that's everything that you need to know. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you lots of happy tangling.